Hey friends, it's Ashley and I am here today with a new video for Hip Kit Club. I am working with the new April kits for the first time, and I am also doing this layout based on our Friday sketch that you can find in our member forum on Facebook, and I will leave a link to that in the description box below. You can see the sketch there that I was working with, and I am getting started with some of the Pink Paisley Horizon collection by Paige Evans, and I'm also mixing in some Dear Lizzie It's All Good, a little bit of crepe paper, so just kind of a mix of different things from the kit on this layout, just trying to coordinate some colors with this background paper that I chose that is a part of the Horizon collection. And I also have a cut file for my title that I'm working with. And these 2x2 paper pads from Horizon also came in the kits this month. And the way I sized my word for the title actually worked perfectly with these to back the cut file. So I'm just using some of the different colors from the little 2x2 paper pad to back this for my title, and I'm trying to use patterns that will stand out against the background paper. Since it is a busy background paper, it gives you a mixed media look without having to create your own mixed media. Also, for this layout, I used a recipe, and if you've never done a recipe on your layouts or projects, it's basically just taking different things, kind of different elements or items that you combine on your layout. And the things that I used on this were a bow, a bird, the color blue, some bling, a butterfly, and a big word. And of course, the word hello is my big word for my title. And I want to get this finished. I'm just going to back it with these papers, and I'm just going to do a few of these here so you can see the process, and I'll finish the rest of that off camera. So I'm going to do the E, and I'm also going to do the O. The O was really easy, so I actually just put the paper as is on the O and then just trim around it once I have it on there. So I'll show you that really quick here. I thought about tracing it, but there really was no point since I was just cutting off a little bit of it. So I'm going to put my adhesive there and then just glue it to the back side and trim that excess away. And the colors from this little mini paper pad worked perfectly for the title, and it really stands out once I put it on this background paper. And the sketch, I really loved it because the way it was set up, it really worked well with a lot of the things from the kit that come in the April kit, like the little 2x2 paper pad. There's some tags. I have some of the cards from the Project Life kit, and I'm going to use those. And so I'm just kind of going to build those little sections that were on the sketch here with some of those different things. I really liked these tags that are from the Horizon collection, so I wanted to use one of those, and I just used my tiny attacher to secure the little string there to have it hanging down. And then the little mini pads are different. One of them has like pattern papers, and then one of them, as you can see, has like these little sentiments. So I wanted to use the one with the sentiments just to bring in a couple other of those little squares to go on the layout. And so I'm just kind of getting that arranged to follow the sketch. And really, mostly the only thing I changed about the sketch was turning the title vertical so that it would kind of take up that title area and the journaling. I tend not to really journal on my layouts. I usually just add the date, and usually kind of not on this one, but I usually kind of let the title kind of tell the journaling, I guess you would say. But on this one, I just used a generic word. And this is actually one of the April cut files. If it is not available on the Hip Kit Club website yet, it will be, so keep an eye out for that. So yeah, I just don't really journal that much on my layouts. So I just kind of changed it up where I could turn that, and it kind of fills in the space of where the title and the journaling are on the sketch. So I'm going to get that added. I wanted to have some dimension on the title, so I just added some foam behind that and popped it up. And I liked the arrangement of all of my little square or tag pieces, so I'm going to go ahead and get all of those in place. And I did use one of those Project Life cards to back my photo, just to add a little something else behind it. And I also wanted to pop up the tag, so I'm going to add some of that foam behind it also. And even though this is a really colorful pattern paper, I really like the way that everything stands out against it. I tried to use some white pieces with the little 2x2 pieces that I chose, and then the Project Life card at the top. So that really helps them stand out some from the background. And I just used one of the little charms that is from the Crate Paper Sunny Days collection, and it had the bird on it. And I am bringing in these balloons from the layered sticker from Dear Lizzy, and it has a bow. So you can see how I'm just bringing in those elements from the recipe challenge. I also had a butterfly on one of the 2x2 papers that I used. And I really like these layered stickers because they add dimension instantly to your projects. All you have to do is just pop them on there, and if you don't want those to have as much dimension, you can always take that foam off of the back of those. So there's lots of fun stickers in the April kits. You can see I have, these are from the Horizon collection, and then there are also some there from the Dear Lizzy collection. So I do use some of these and just kind of go back and forth looking for the ones that I want, because I just really wanted to embellish those areas of the sketch. And then these are some of the florals from Horizon. I wanted to create some flower clusters because I love using flowers on my layouts. You can never have enough flowers. And there are a ton of them in this pack. So I really liked these. And I want to just kind of add something outside of the grid of the sketch, I guess you would say, just to have something kind of organic. And so I really wanted that cluster there. And originally that was the only one that I was going to have, but there were so many pretty flowers in the collection that I decided to add some in another cluster, which you will see in just a minute or two. And I like to vary the dimension when I'm creating clusters like this. So a lot of times I will put some flat on the page just using my tape runner, and then some of the pieces in the cluster I will pop up with the foam. So you can see that I'm doing that here. And I kind of go back and forth depending on what I am adhering. Sometimes I'll use my tape runner and sometimes I'll use the liquid adhesive. It just depends on how small the piece is that I'm putting on the layout. And I wanted something to fill in that space right down under my photo and beside the title. So I do add a little bit more of the flowers right there just to bring in kind of a balance and just to fill in that space a little bit more. And before I do that other third flower cluster, I do decide to go back to the stickers because I wanted some of those little word phrases. If you look on the sketch, it kind of looks almost like there's like little washi tape or something like that at the top of each of the boxes. So these little word phrases on the Dear Lizzy stickers were kind of perfect to mimic that look on the sketch. So I really like the way that those turned out, and they're black and white, so they go with anything. And now I am bringing in my bling. These are some little enamel dots from Shamil, and they kind of are sparkly and pink, so I thought those would be perfect for the bling on my layout. And I used 3 of those because I like to use 3s a lot when I'm working on my layouts. It just helps give like a cool look to your page having odd numbers. So I got that last little sticker there, and here's where I decided to do the other flower cluster by the O. I wanted to have something kind of just coming out on that right hand side of the page, just because it was so straight on that edge with the word hello. So I thought that the flower cluster would be perfect there. And I wanted to bring in another small flower, but the one I just picked up there, that's probably about the smallest that I could find. So I do decide to use a heart in that cluster also off of one of the sticker sheets. And you can see again, I am adding some dimension by putting that foam behind some of the flowers in the cluster so that it's not all just one dimension, just creating that texture and depth on the layout. And that's where I was searching for a smaller flower, but couldn't really find anything, so I decided to go with the heart instead. And I like all the leaves that are in this floral pack. You get a lot of different colors, There's some brighter greens, a little more saturated green, and there's also some lighter blues and darker blues. So you get a lot of variation, which is great for building clusters because you get a lot of different colors going on in that cluster, and it gives a lot of interest to your layout. So I get that finished up and I want to add my date. I always like to add the date. So I just do it on that project life card there at the top. And that finishes up this layout. I hope you will come over to the member forum and join in for this sketch challenge and see what some of the other design team members created. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.